still are there. They still have the names, but I just think they're going to have to establish that recipe again if they want to continue to kind of contend, which 81-81 last year, 500 record, they did just that. But yeah, I just think a big win on Monday. I liked how Paul talked about it. Kept 1-1 late in the ball game, took advantage of some mistakes by Kansas City. And Paul feels that you're going to win more ball games than not if you're in it late in the ball game, because the Twins are a team don't panic. They'll take advantage of some of the mistakes, and I think we saw with Kansas City's pitchers 4 walks in that inning, and they ended up coming around to score. So took advantage of some inconsistency with some of the relievers throwing strikes. But whole new ball game here today. You got Hector Santiago going against Ian Kennedy. Both pitchers have been hurt by the long ball in the past.
Yeah, no doubt. Both gave up well over 30 last season. Santiago joined the Twins at the trade deadline from the Angels. And, Dan, you go back and he made 11 starts with the Twins, 5 in August, 6 in September. August, a struggle. ERA over 8, but better in September, more competitive ERA in the high 3s.
And talking to Hector, he said he just tried to impress too early. And a lot of players, I don't care if you're a veteran player or a young player, you always try to do a little too much. He ended up settling down, though, in September. But, again, by then the season was a wash.
Alex Gordon leads off, 1 for 4 on Monday, and Santiago's first fastball is up and inside at 89 miles per hour. And that's ball 1. We're underway here at Target Field. Hector off the third base side. Lefty against lefty, the 1-0. There's a fastball strike at 89 from Santiago. Gordon, 17 homers, 40 knocked in last year. Suffered a fractured wrist early in the season last year in Chicago. And the 1-1, strike 2 called the fastball. He collided with teammate Mike Moustakas in foul territory down the left field line. Moustakas tore a ligament in his knee, ending his season. And Gordon missed about a month, but was never really the same after that wrist injury. And the 1-2 breaking ball low. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's keep tabs on that curveball from Santiago. Interesting, during our pregame show, a feature on Santiago's last few starts in the Grapefruit League with Castro catching. He threw a ton of curveballs. And the 2-2 is slash foul out of play off third. There's a fastball there, 91. Best velocity so far from Hector today.
I was listening to Neil Allen do an interview here, and he's talking about with the pitching staff. They want these guys to go to 7 innings, and he wants you to get strike 1, and he figures if you get strike 1, he wants a 4-pitch at bat to get him out.
The 2-2, and Gordon got hit. A fastball up and inside, and Gordon, he is hunched over in pain, and he's grabbing at his wrist or his hand, and that's going to bring out Ned Yost and a member of the Royals training staff. And when it came up and inside, it's his lower right arm.
I think it's more of his, right on the top hand of that right hand there. Bottom hand holds on the bat.
You look at the knuckle, and that's exactly what the trainer's looking at. That's when you get into those metacarpals, and that happens. A guy can easily break a bone there in the knuckle, and Gordon is going to shake it off a little bit, and Santiago a nod, and Gordon said, all right, nothing intentional there, but he will painfully take his base. So Gordon is on to begin the day, getting hit top of his right hand. And here is Mike Moustakas. DHing today, was at third on Monday. Moustakas homered on opening day off. Irvin Santana took a fastball out to the porch and right. Lefty against lefty in the opening inning. And the pitch is a letter-high fastball strike from Hector, 0-1. Well, because of that torn ligament, only 27 games for Moustakas, who got off to a great start. OPS over 800, 7 homers in less than 30 games last season. And the 0-1 pitch is up and away. Just missed. Took something off that fastball, more of a cutter. And now it's even, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, with his injury, they got an opportunity to see Cuthbert play some third base, and a lot of it last year, and he was a rookie and set all kinds of rookie record numbers. So
Cuthbert is starting at third base today, batting 7th. And the 1-1 up and inside on a fastball. Santiago lifetime at Target Field, 11 games. Twins, Angels. In the past, ERA is near 7. Lifetime pitching here at this ballpark. As the sun is trying to fight its way through the overcast skies, lights are on. And a 2-1 pitch, and that's high, ball 3. Now, Santiago last year with the Twins, he averaged 3 walks per 9, struck out 5. His walk rate did rise a bit during that last month of the 2016 season. Moustakas 0 of 14 lifetime against Santiago. Swing and a miss, a fastball 3-2. 0 for 14 lifetime in this matchup with a couple of strikeouts. He's walked once. See if Gordon's moving here. 3-2 count, nobody out. Kane on deck. No score, just underway. Hector from the belt. Runner goes, and the pitch, swing and a miss, throw down to second base. They should get him. The tag applied, they got him. A late break for second base by Gordon. So Moustakas struck out swinging. Castro firing down to second. Escobar covering and easily tagged out, 2 down. Letter high fastball. Moustakas strikes out swinging. And Danny, looking back at Gordon, he didn't break, did he, right away for second base?
No, he didn't, and I'm not sure if he missed a sign or what. Almost like a 3-ball, 2-strike delayed steal there, but.
So base is empty, 2 outs, and now Lorenzo Kane, who takes a fastball high for ball 1. That is a double play, and another innovative Office Solutions double play, posted brand. Twin killing right there. Strike him out, throw him out. We spent so much time with Jason Castro during spring training and so much about his framing abilities. And the 1-0, swing and a miss. Kane, empty cut, fastball there. 1-1, but we were both impressed with his arm. Weren't we, looking at his arm strength, his accuracy during camp?
Yeah, very, very sound defensively and getting in good position and anticipating. I think he's one of those guys that recognizes who the base runner is that might be running over there and kind of gets himself in a little bit better position and anticipates somebody trying to run.
Kane takes high, ball 2. Kane crushed left-handed pitching last year, 371 average. Only played 1 September game. He was shut down with a wrist injury, also a leg injury, kept him back at times last year. Ahead of Santiago, the 2-1. Inside, missed the corner. The fastball, ball 3. Dangerous count, dangerous hitter.
Of course, sometimes some catchers, though, with their average or below average in throwing, they'll change what kind of game they call. They'll ask for more fastballs, trying to get a better chance to throw them out.
Line foul off the screen. Got a fastball there, 3-1. Defensively, the Twins today, the only change from opening day at short, Eduardo Escobar. At short today with Polanco on the bench, Rosario, Buxton, Kepler left to right, Sano at third, Dozier, Mauer second and first, Castro catching, and Grossman DHing. And the 3-2 up and inside. He walked in ball 4. So Kane is on. A 2-out walk. And that'll bring up Eric Hosmer, who was hitless on Monday, 0 for 3 after a career best season in home runs and RBIs, 25 and 104 for the free agent to be Kansas City first baseman. It's Hosmer, it's Moustakas, Escobar, Kane. That quartet all set to be free agents at season's end. No score in the opening inning as Hector checks on Kane, back in standing at first base. Hosmer was a member of Team USA at the World Baseball Classic, the championship team, and performed great. A homer, knocked in 5, 10 hits in that WBC run. A check again on Kane, back in. Now, Hosmer, you go back to his numbers last year, the first half really stood out. Quiet at times in the second half, despite the fact the Royals had a huge month of August. And they were still a contending team at the end of August. They're about 7 games over 500. And the pitch, Hosmer, big cut there, empty cut and a cutter. Nothing at 1. Now, Danny, think about this core that will be free agents at season's end as we see it right now. And this group has won a ton of games in recent years.
A lot's going to depend on how well they play leading up to that trade deadline to see if they're in it. Then you keep those core guys together.
And the 0-1, swing and a miss. Kind of fooled on a breaking ball from Santiago that time, and now Hector's got option, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough call. Dayton Moore, been there 12 years as the general manager for Kansas City, and he's going to have to look at a trade deadline. I recall, was it Dabrowski with the Detroit Tigers when he traded, I think it was
David Price,
and they were still in contention, and then he was let go days after that trade.
Gained at first, 2 outs, and the 0-2 breaking ball knocked down skillfully by Castro. Ball in the dirt. Castro to his left, smothering it. Ball 1.
And Dabrowski took a lot of heat because a lot of the people, even ownership, thought that, hey, we're still in this thing. But they felt that he was sellers and not buyers in that situation. So Dayton Moore is going to have to do the same thing at some point with some of these guys to try to get something in return if they are going to go ahead and become free agents.
Tigers did that, getting guys like Norris and Fulmer and Boyd in some of those deals. And the 1-2 pitch is high, snagged by Castro.
Wasn't it Price, and then wasn't Cespedes then traded to the Mets, and that's where they got
Fulmer. Michael Fulmer, the American League Rookie of the Year last year. Speaking of the Tigers, they won yesterday. Verlander struck out 10 as the Tigers beat the White Sox in Chicago. White Sox Tigers rained out today. Same for the Cubs and the Cardinals in St. Louis. Kane stays. The 2-2 ground ball right side. Dozier right there. Gloves it between the ankles. He throws out Hosmer, inning over. Royals don't score. They leave 1. We play.
That's why we're a fan favorite by calling your broker or visiting preferred1.com.
Preferred One is a proud sponsor of Minnesota Twins baseball.
This is the Treasure Island Baseball Network.
Brian Dozier, Max Kepler, Byron Buxton due up against right-hander Ian Kennedy. Last year, his first year with the Royals, he made a career-best 33 starts. 111 games, ERA 3.68. Did allow 33 home runs, but he was really good. Last month or so of the season, his last 13 starts, ERA in the mid-2s. He faces Brian Dozier, who crushed Kansas City pitching last year. And the opening pitch on Brian's a fastball low and outside, ball 1. Fastball, that will be the pitch the Twins expect to see plenty of today. Kennedy threw his four-seam fastball nearly 66% of the time last year, with a curve change and a cutter. And the 1-0 on Dozier is a strike called. And it's now even 1 ball and 1 strike. Kennedy signed a 5-year contract. Now he's got an opt-out after this year. He's 6 feet, 200 pounds, 32 years old. And the 1-1, low and away, ball 2. Dozier 42 homers last year. He joined Harmon Killebrew as the only players in club history to reach 40 home runs. Brian 1 for 4 on Monday. And the 2-1 pitch, a swing at a high pop fly, playable infield right side. Hosmer to his right, Mondesi there. Hosmer calls off the young second baseman, and with a smile, Hosmer makes the catch. And Dozier is out, number 1. Now, Danny, it's a Royals starting staff that does look significantly different without Giordano Ventura, who tragically was killed this offseason, and the Royals honoring their fallen teammate with a patch on the right side of their jerseys saying ace. And that forced some changes, not so much at the front end, but how the back end of the rotation kind of maps out.
Well, they got Nathan Carnes they picked up here, so they've got some guys there that they feel kind of are going to give you those innings.
As Kepler steps in, takes low and inside, ball 1. Max laid down a bunt single in the 7th inning on Monday, and that was a big at bat at the time. And the 1-0 from Kennedy misses outside. And the guy the Twins will see tomorrow, Jason Hamill. He is in the mix. He was signed late. He will work opposite Kyle Gibson in the finale tomorrow afternoon. And the 2-0 on Kepler, swinging a slicing pop-up shallow left. Cuthbert out, Escobar out, calling off Gordon. It's Escobar squaring the shoulders and making the catch. And a couple of pop fly outs, 2 up, 2 down, no score, bottom 1. And here comes Byron Buxton, 0 for 5, struck out 3 times on Monday.
Of course, you talk about Giordano Ventura, a tough guy to replace here. There's not too many of those quality guys, and he was so young. He was still on an upside with his young career, but he was probably the horse of this staff. And I look for Kansas City to really rally around the passing of him and do something special this year.
As Buxton bats at a fastball for a strike called at 92. Something we touched on during the pregame show is how many fastballs Buxton will see, considering he didn't see many on Monday from Danny Duffy. But the fastball is what Kennedy throws. He got ahead with the fastball 0-1. Righty against righty. And the 0-1. Fastball up and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, that's probably where we're going to see the fastball is up and in, and then something soft down and away. Yeah,
Byron had that great September OPS over 1,000 in September, and the 1-1 took something off a slider, swing and a miss, 1-2.
Sometimes pitchers, like you said, 60% fastballs for Ian Kennedy. Sometimes they won't change and go away from their strengths, and I'm always a believer that you pitch to the hitter's weakness with your strength.
From the windup and the 1-2, got him looking at a fastball. Byron may be thinking about something else. That one at 92, right down the middle. And Kennedy works a 1-2-3 opening inning after one.
I listen to it every single morning. Go Radio.
Now, the Flex Plan gives you the flexibility to choose what games to attend. Whether it's a month in advance or an hour before first pitch, you receive 20 tickets and then decide when and how many to use. Plus, save money on food, beverage, and merchandise. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/flex. Salvador Perez begins the Royals' second, takes high, ball 1. 0-0 after 1. The 1-0 pitch, a drive to left, deep down the line, but that ball hooking and going foul. Landing near the Barrio Bar. Always a good place to gather here at Target Field.
I don't care how early it is. It's a good place to gather.
Especially on Fridays, right, Danny? Weather warms up. That place will fill up.
Friday, Saturday.
Sunday morning.
Wednesday.
1-1 check swing. Pitch down. The appeal did not go. 2 balls and a strike on Perez. 1 for 3. On Monday, 4-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glove winning catcher. Hitting .361 lifetime here at Target Field. And the 2-1, change of pace, swing and a miss, 2-2, effective. Off-speed pitch there from Santiago. Orlando on deck, and then Chesler Cuthbert, the third baseman. See what Castro calls for here, wants it inside, and the 2-2 is in, but low, ball 3. Santiago pitching with a bright red glove. He's going to step off and reset. Grab the rosin bag behind the mound, and we'll see what Santiago and Castro come up with in a 3-2 count on Perez. Santiago, long look, and now likes what he sees from the windup. And the 3-2, he walked it, missed high. Leadoff walk, second walk. Issued by Santiago today. And now Orlando, who was 0 for 3 back on Monday. Something we touched on a few times throughout spring training. If you missed it, it's worth repeating. Now, Santiago, 30th round pick by the White Sox back in 2006. And this goes back to around 2010, 2009. Santiago, when he was coming up professionally, he was a submariner, and he was a bullpen guy, not a starter. And around 2010, pitching in Winston-Salem, he had this lengthy at bat. It was about a 14-15 pitch at bat. As Orlando waits, he shows bunt, took a stab and missed. It'll cost him a strike. 0-1, no score in the second. But yeah, Hector had this lengthy at bat with his hitter. It was about 13, 14, 15 pitches, and he said enough's enough. And then he went over the top and got him out. And it was not long after that, Joe McEwing was managing the Winston-Salem team at the time. They said, what was that? And they kind of looked at that delivery, and Hector then became a starter. And the 0-1, a changeup, swing and a miss, 0-2. And Hector's days as a bullpen guy pretty much ended then. Maybe a spot bullpen appearance here and there with the White Sox early on. But the last few seasons, primarily a starter. And the catalyst for this change really dates back to that minor league at bat he had in around 2010 in Winston-Salem. And the 0-2 swing and a miss. He got him. High fastball. Love the location right there, Danny. Can't hit that up and inside.
Well, he's probably looking off speed. There's something down and away, and that's Hector right there. Be able to kind of sneak that fastball up and in on him and chased it. I'm curious if Hector remembers who that hitter was with that lengthy at bat. He probably, some guys won a couple batting titles.
Yeah, it's worth asking Joe McEwing about as well. One out for Cuthbert at third base, takes inside for a ball. Danny mentioned his name earlier, 24-year-old third baseman on his first opening day roster. Nearly 130 games played last year, a ton of time at third with the injury to Moustakas. He led All-American League rookies in doubles and average. And the pitch, swing and a miss, late cut, high fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike, no score in the second. There was competition at second base at camp. That job was there for the taking, and Mondesi 1 out, beat out Cuthbert, Merrifield, Christian Colon. And the 1-1 pitch is popped foul. Souvenir back behind the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But with the injuries that the Royals had last year, don't you recall seeing all those guys playing everywhere, right? They just had so many interchangeable parts.
You know, and we were broadcasting a game in spring training, and there was the guy that started that revolving door. Wasn't it Giavitella that they thought was going to be the guy every day?
Johnny Giavitella, you're right. Inside 2-2.
And they felt that, okay, not ready yet. They went out, they picked up Infante.
Omar Infante. They tried Chris Getz there for a while.
Yes, right? And it has been somewhat of a revolving door since. And they think that they have a good one in Mondesi, but they also feel that Mondesi in the future probably going to play some shortstop.
Twins a double play depth, and Santiago's 2-2 up and inside. Ball 3. Don't want to lose him. Got ahead 1-2, and now full count 3-2 with Escobar on deck.
Well, Santiago, they said, is going to be on a pitch count, and it's a hard pitch count, I think, for Santiago here.
Paul said about 90. The 3-2 swing and a foul. Castro cannot hang on a changeup. Stays full 3-2. And Perez, he's not going to run, as he remained at first base on that 3-2 pitch from Santiago. So a changeup there. Does he double up on that off-speed pitch here with Cuthbert?
Yeah, he's been effective. Cuthbert, I think, a little bit quicker with that high fastball up and in that he got Paulo Orlando to chase.
On the stretch, and the 3-2. Ground ball to short, should be 2. Escobar's got it. Dozier for 1. The relay on to first. Double play. 6-4-3. The Twins turn their second innovative office solutions posted brand. Now Clayton Richard is really on target. The Padres pitcher tossed 8 shutout against the Dodgers. Struck out 5, allowed only 5 hits. And the Padres beat L.A. 4-0. Brought to you by Target, proud partner of the Minnesota Twins. No score, bottom 2. Kennedy working a 1-2-3 first. Now it's Mauer, Sano, and Castro. Joe back in the cleanup spot again here today, as Kennedy deals, and a fastball, late call, hits the outside corner at 91. 0-1 on Joe. Now, something we thought we may see in the regular season against righties, with Sano hit 4th and Mauer bat 5th, and we did see some of that last few weeks of spring training. The 0-1 is popped foul, slicing out of play. But if you think about that, if you look at the way the lineup is made out today, if you bat Joe 5th, a lot of lefties would be bunched together mid to the bottom part of the order. And forget the opposing starter, but that would factor in probably later in the game against the bullpen. And the Royals have 3 lefties in their bullpen. So you got the righty Sano on deck batting 5th. 0-2 on Joe. Kennedy a long look, and now from the windup. And here it comes. He swings and fouls it back.
Well, I think this is one of the scenarios that Paul is working with Mauer batting 4th. And that is that he's an on-base percentage guy, and here he is leading off. If the Twins go 1-2-3 in the first, then yes, you've got Joe leading off, gets on base a little bit, and then that's going to give Sano an opportunity to hit with runner on base.
And Joe's on-base percentage, a solid .363 last year. No balls and 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. It's high, ball 1. And Joe's numbers, if you go back and look at how he was performing offensively, his OPS was around 800. That's above league average. Until about mid-August, until that leg injury, Danny, and that pretty much ended his season in Atlanta. As he played a little bit, but did not do much offensively. And the 1-2 off speed, outside corner, strike three, a backdoor curveball that Joe thought missed. Instead, Kennedy picks up his second strikeout. Backdoor breaking ball, hooking back in on the black, knee high, 1 out.
Well, Hosmer going to leave. I think he's got some bad equipment right now. Needs a new first baseman's glove. But we talk about Castro and his ability to be able to frame pitches. And yes, we're being impressed with Castro and with his throwing, his all-around defensive game beyond the plate. But this is guy here, Salvador Perez, probably the premier guy in catching balls, along with Molina with St. Louis.
He's only 26 years old. Sano takes outside, ball one, no score in the second.
I see Perez at one point in his career as he gets older. I'm not sure how well his knees are going to hold up. Slide over and maybe play some first base, learn that as well.
And the 1-0 pitch runs off the outside corner and low at 87, 2-0 on Miguel.
But to me, what makes catchers look so good is when you have pitchers that if you put a number down and put your glove right there and they're in that area. But if you're misfiring all the time, then that catcher can kind of look a little bad.
Outfield playing deep and playing Miguel to pull. And the 2-0 pitch is high, ball three. Sano hit a long home run of Danny Duffy on Monday to the U.S. Bank home run porch in left field. In 25 last year, OPS was around 780. And the 3-0, he takes low, ball four. So part of Sano's game. Factors into that OPS. More of a storyline back in 2015 than 2016, but he would take that walk, get on base. Now let's see if Castro can stay hot. What a day he had in his Twins debut. 2 for 3, knocked in 2 runs. He walked, he caught a solid game. He got those hits off a couple of lefties. Facing a righty now in Ian Kennedy. Sano, the Twins' first base runner today, no score. As Castro takes inside near the hands, ball one. Twins saw Kennedy a few times last year and did not fare well. He was nasty against the Twins. At 5 starts, 3-0 ERA in the high 2s. Working from the stretch, and the 1-0 pitch, a check swing, and they appeal to third. He went on a high fastball, 1-1. Now, something Kennedy did extremely well last year, and despite the fact he allowed a ton of home runs, he left a lot of guys on base, roughly 83% left on base percentage. That's well above average. So guys got on, but he worked out of it more times than not. And a 1-1 inside. He's trying to pound Castro in near the hands, ball two. He struck out roughly 9 men per 9. That strikeout rate's not too far off from his career number. But that left on base percentage, if you're getting 83%, that's very, very good as a starter. No score in the second. Sano at first, 1 out, and the 2-1 pitch. High, ball 3. Escobar looms next. You may see some of the elite guys, the elite starters, have a number like that. And a guy may get on, but he won't necessarily score because that pitcher, that ace, he's got strikeout potential. Castro had 11 home runs last year with Houston. And the 3-1, strike 2. He took it on the outside corner. So a full count on the Twins catcher, Jason Castro.
Looking at Castro in his bat right now, he's got a big pad on his top hand. And a lot of times you get that bone bruise, and I think it's more from Castro catching, getting a bone bruise, than it is swinging the bat.
Sano a short lead. He stays, and the 3-2 is up and inside, ball 4. So Castro is on again. He was on 3 times on Monday, 2 hits and a walk. In his first plate appearance, he draws a walk today. It's a 2-on, 1 out. Eduardo Escobar starting at short. Escobar was the opening day shortstop last year, was injured in May, and that led to just a domino effect, a lack of playing time for Escobar at times last year. He got hurt. Eduardo Nunez got hot. Escobar came back, but Nunez stayed in at short. Then after Nunez got traded, we saw more of Jorge Polanco at short, and Escobar kind of bounced around a bit more in the infield. Eduardo batting left-handed, 2-on, 1 out, behind a strike called at the thigh. 0-1, 91 on the radar now. I think back, Escobar 2 years ago, really 14 and 15, back-to-back 30-plus double seasons. He's the first Twins switch hitter to ever do that. In team history, back-to-back 30-plus double seasons from a switch hitter. And the 0-1, swing and a miss. 0-2. And Danny, we saw Escobar a bit in spring training. It wasn't like he didn't get his at-bats, his playing time. He did, but not really with the group that's out there today.
No, he was kind of making the road trips. A lot of guys did not. A lot of the frontline guys didn't make any road trips or many. But Escobar was that guy. And we didn't really, when we were at home, we didn't see him play much, maybe come in late. But he was getting all of his starts on the road, and yes, with the extra guys.
Escobar put up good numbers offensively against the Royals last year. But behind 0-2. Sano at second, Castro at first, and the 0-2 is fouled back. This marks the 6th opening day roster in Escobar's career. 5 straight now with the Twins. He made 1 with the White Sox in 2012. Wearing number 5. Score bottom 2, Twins batting. And the 0-2 line up the middle and through, base hit center field. Sano touches third. He's going to head home. Kane will not throw home. Twins lead 1-0. Escobar knocks in Sano. Oh, 2 count. Escobar singles to center. And the Twins cash in the walk. Castro to second. Escobar at first. 1-0.
I think Kennedy got a little gun shy here on that 0-2 pitch. He threw him an 0-2 fastball. He was right on it, fouled it back, so elected to come back with a slow breaking ball. And that, boy, was too much a home plate right there. Good swing by Escobar.
And now Eddie Rosario batting 8th today. He hit 9th on Monday. As Eddie takes in the dirt. What a stop that time by Perez. And to your point, there's part of the package. He's huge. He throws well, throws accurate, and he can block a ball like that, keep the double play in order. Otherwise, that ball gets by. Who knows if it bounces off the limestone where it goes. It's not a guarantee the guys move up, but no chance anyway. Rosario laid down a key sac bunt on Monday, and the 1-0 pitch, a swing and a miss on a changeup, evens up the count. Now Rosario struggled the first half, humbled, got sent down. But his last 2 months were productive. 13 doubles, 7 homers, his last 60 games before his season ended with a thumb injury, needed surgery. And a 1-1 outside, missed the corner, ball 2. Rosario, 10 home runs, 32 knocked in last year. His numbers did drop from that awesome rookie campaign the prior season. And the 2-1 pitch, low, ball 3, not chasing the changeup, and now a good count. Despite the fact Rosario is a left-handed batter, the Royals outfielder is playing him the opposite way. Kane favoring left center, Gordon favoring the corner. With 2 on, 1 out, and the 3-1. Check swing, tapper foul, and Rosario, he chased ball 4. That was up. He knew it.
Yeah, a little upset. That always frustrates hitters when you get hitters count like that. Tells me he's a little excited, wanting to swing 3 balls and a strike, and just left that bat out over the zone a little bit, and the ball found it. That was ball 4.
Kennedy right now at 35 pitches. Twins 1, Royals nothing. As Rosario pumps that bat low just above home plate. Back and forth. Kennedy taking a lot of time. And now too much time as everybody steps off and resets. Now Kennedy ready from the rubber. Rosario back in from the left side. And the 3-2 line to center field, a base hit. Castro to third. Castro will score. Escobar to third. He slides in safely. Nobody covering at second base. Rosario stands up at second. 2-0 Twins. Rosario knocks in Castro, and alert base running all around as the Twins have second and third, still one out, and now leading by a pair. That pitch was up and away. It was a fastball. And Rosario right up the middle. And Kane, no chance to get Castro. He thought third. And the throw back in was cut off. And then nobody covering second base. And with that, Rosario got in standing, not even a play.
For some reason, Mondesi, and I'm not sure how the Kansas City Royals run that cutoff play, but it looked like Hosmer was leaving first base, going to line up behind the mound to be the cutoff guy. And Mondesi, for some reason, was covering first base.
Infield playing in, breaking ball high on Robbie Grossman, ball one. Dave Island, the pitching coach for the Royals, went out to chat with Kennedy. Trip to the mound brought to you by Quick Trip. And now the 1-0 is a fastball outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Dozier on deck.
Boy, similar theme in this ballgame, more early than the ballgame on Monday. Twins took advantage of 4 walks in an inning.
And the 2-0 is inside, ball 3. A 28-pitch inning so far for Kennedy, still one out. He struck out Maurer to begin this inning. A walk to Sano, a walk to Castro, back-to-back run-scoring singles, Escobar and Rosario. And now second and third, one out, infield in. And the 3-0 pitch is low, ball 4. And that'll load him up for Brian Dozier. A 4-pitch walk to a man that hit 11 homers alone off Kansas City pitching last year. All right, Danny, you've seen Kennedy this half inning. He's been all over the place, but Dozier, he loves that first pitch. Does he sit on something early, or does he wait for Kennedy to throw a strike?
Well, as good as Dozier is, yes. I think that he looks for a certain pitch, but more importantly, Corey, that pitch has to be in a certain location, something that he can do some damage with. Don't think so much sack fly pop-up, get it to the outfield, hit the ball hard.
He does swing at the first pitch, a high fastball at 93, and I don't mind that. That's Dozier's spot. That's his game. And it's rare that Dozier has spots like this, right? Doesn't have a grand slam in his career. Can that change now? And the 0-1 swing and a foul. Perez hangs on to it. A slider, 0-2. Twins by 2, looking for more. Still one out, Kepler on deck. And the 0-2 ground ball off of Kennedy's glove near second. Mondesi has it, steps on second for 1, throws to first late, and a run is in. It's a fielder's choice RBI for Dozier. Escobar scores. Grossman out at second base as Rosario takes third, and it's now 3-0 with 2 outs. Now, watching it live, I'm not sure if that ball hit a piece of Kennedy's glove. If it slowed down just a bit, Mondesi right there to glove it, stepped on second, took one step to his right for the force, but then Dozier beat the return throw up the line for his first RBI of the year. Is he looking to run here as Kepler swings and misses on a changeup 0-1?
I think he'll leave that hole open on the right side for a little bit, at least maybe till he gets 2 strikes. You do got good speed with Rosario over there at third base. We saw the Boston Red Sox run that double steal in spring training, so that's something I know that Paul Molitor has in his arsenal as well.
Kepler popped out his first time. Max now 1 for 5 on the young season. Twins by 3. And the 0-1 is inside near the hands. Pitch count now at 45 for Kennedy. Kennedy has walked 3 in this inning so far, and it won't really matter. Grossman already out. He was aboard with the walk, but 2 of the 3 walks scored runs. And the 1-1, swing and a miss, fastball. Challenging Kepler at 91. It was down 1-2. So have good speed on here with 2 outs. Dozier at first. Rosario at third. Dozier runs. The 1-2 is outside. No throw to second base. Nobody covered. Kind of a pump bluff there from Perez. Just to see if Rosario would bite. But you mentioned 2 strikes. That's a possibility, and we saw Dozier take off. It was a 1-2 count, now 2-2.
I like that count there, to run on, and nobody covering, so the play by Kansas City was just to kind of fake a throw.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes on Kepler. Base hit should score 2 more. And here it comes. He struck him out swinging on a fastball. Inning over, but Kennedy with a prolonged second inning as the Twins bat 8 and scored 3 runs. 3. Moment ago, Brian Dozier swiping his first stolen base of the season. Brought to you by Quick Trip. Slide into your neighborhood Quick Trip for a free 32-ounce Big Buddy fountain drink. Text STEEL to 77887 now for your coupon for a free fountain drink. That's STEEL to 77887. Quick Trip, proud partner of the Minnesota Twins. Twins 3, Royals nothing. Hector Santiago looking for that shutdown inning right now. As he misses high, and Alcides Escobar, ball 1. Escobar, Mondesi, Gordon due up, 8-9-1 for the Royals here in the top of the 3rd. And the 1-0 pitch, a fly ball, center field. Buxton back, still going, plenty of room. He turns, squares the shoulders, a cap high, 2-hand squeeze. And Escobar is out, number 1. Now, former big league second baseman Rennie Stinnett is celebrating a birthday today. Stinnett is the only player ever to record 7 hits in a 9-inning game. Follow the Twins all season long on Facebook and Twitter for a chance to wish a Twins player a happy birthday, courtesy of Subway Restaurants. 1 out, Raul Mondesi, switch hitting. Second baseman, 21 years old, on his first opening day roster. And the 0-1 pitch is high. Sano not ruling out a bunt, nor should you. This is a guy that will do that often. Great speed. And Santiago's 1-1 swing and a miss on a high changeup. Now, speaking of that age, 21 years old, Mondesi is the 3rd youngest Royal to start an opening day game. He did that on Monday behind only Clint Hurdle. And the 1-2 is bounced foul. Hurdle did that twice, 78-79. Mondesi, the 3rd youngest Royal ever to start on opening day. He had to win that job at camp at a solid spring training. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gordon on deck. Twins by 3. Here it comes. Got him swinging. Fastball inside. 92 on the radar gun. 3rd strikeout for Santiago. 2 down. And now 2nd time through. Alex Gordon will bat. He was hit by a pitch on his hand to begin the game. Santiago the side from the windup, and the pitch runs down and away, a cutter. And there's ball 1. 1-0 is a letter high strike. And a fastball. Santiago joined the long list of Twins to experience the Winter Caravan for the first time this offseason. And the 1-1 is outside. He went north. International Falls, Bemidji, Duluth with Eduardo Escobar and Happy Jack. And a 2-1 pitch, a swing, a fly ball, center field hit well. Buxton circling, though, with the play. Shy of the warning track, he'll squeeze it. And Santiago indeed records that shutdown inning. It's a Twins lead the Royals 3-0. The Twins and Country Hearth Bread are proud partners this season. The toast of the Twins is Country Hearth Bread. Buxton bunts foul right near home plate. Good idea, Danny. You think about Buxton so far, 6 at bats. He's hitless. He has struck out 4 times. He's leading off the inning. Why not?
Yeah, that's a good place right there, trying to get it past that pitcher, force Hosmer to field it, and then it's just a foot race between him and Kennedy.
All right, so he showed it once. Does he double up on it here? Now it's 0-1.
No, because if you do the same thing or pull back and take it, now all of a sudden I've seen 2 pitches on a bunt, and I'm in the hole, no balls, and 2 strikes.
Twins lead 3-0. Kennedy from the windup. And the 0-1 pitch, a swing and a fly ball to left. That's going to turn foul, out of play. 0-2 on Buxton. In third for the second straight game. As we said on Monday, Buxton recalls hitting third before this really began. In spring training, his junior year of high school. He recalled hitting third some. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch, swing and a miss on a change. 0-2 changeup, and Buxton strikes out. For the second time today, 1 out. 4th strikeout for Kennedy. And before Maurer steps in, we step out. 10 seconds for station identification from Target Field. This is Twins Baseball.
Hey, we're Ben, Dana, and Giselle. Mornings on 96.3 KQGO FM, Edina, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
The alternative channel and your home for Twins Baseball.
Corey and Danny with you from downtown Minneapolis. Twins lead 3-0. Maurer takes inside. Joe struck out looking on a backdoor curveball. In the second, before the Twins scored 3 runs. That last pitch got a piece of the home plate umpire, Tony Randazzo. So Salvador Perez kind of giving his buddy behind him some time to get everything set. And now play will resume. And the 1-0 pitch, fastball strike called. Joe 1-1. Another day game tomorrow to wrap up this brief homestand. Same start time, 11:30 pregame, 12:10, Gibson and Hamill. And then it's off to Chicago. The 1-1 curve, line to left, down the line, but foul. Now, the White Sox getting rained out again today. They were rained out on Monday, played their opener yesterday. Derek Holland will pitch on Friday opposite Phil Hughes. Saturday will be Miguel Gonzalez against Adalberto Mejia. Sunday, Irvin Santana will pitch. And the White Sox right now, TBA, that may be Jose Quintana, who worked in their opener yesterday. And a 1-2 line to left field, a base hit for Joe. In the gap, Gordon to his left, cuts it off. And Maurer holds with a single. Now, time and time again, the way that Gordon defends Joe is that he favors the line, will give him more room in the gap. Kane's going to shift over there anyway. But Gordon's still able to race over to his left to keep that ball from finding the warning track and splitting the 2. It's a long single for Joe. There's Joe's first hit. First of many here in 2017. Joe now 1 for 5. And now Sano, who walked and scored back in the second. Here it comes on Miguel. He swings and pops it foul. That'll be a souvenir. Down to our right. The Delta Sky 360 Club. Great place to watch the game. Right above, right beneath our perch. Sano, 25 homers last year. He made his big league debut against Kansas City. That was at Kauffman Stadium. Back in 2015, picked up his first big league hit. It was an infield single a couple years back against Kansas City. And the 0-1, a swing and a high fly into left field. Gordon back, warning track at the wall. Gordon will catch it at the base of the wall. Mauer tags and now will go back, diving in safely at first base. Hit high in the air. And Gordon was playing deep anyway. He went back about 5 steps to the wall and then adjusted to the actual flight of the ball itself. And eventually going to his left, towards left center. And with his back still kind of pinned up against the wall, he had just enough room to catch it for out number 2.
Well, that's how you play the wall right there. You get back to it, takes the right hand, touches it. He knows right where he's at, and then just drifted a little bit to his left, made a nice catch. Great throw back into the infield.
And Mauer thought about tagging. Gordon wasted little time and got that ball back in. So now 2 down. Castro pops one foul off third. Cuthbert over, no play. As that's a souvenir.
You know, that's why you do tag up. If that ball's out of here, he can then make an easy jog. The key, though, is to make sure that Sano does not touch first and pass you. But Joe got about halfway down there, and I saw the throw coming back in, elected to kind of hustle back to first base.
Looking at the flags above the third level at Target Field, they're blowing somewhat in. Still, those can be a little deceiving. Don't always judge what those flags do, as that's really the indication at field level. And the 0-1 is on the outside corner. Josh Willingham always told us he played left field here. He'd look at those flags. He thought it was really opposite what those flags were doing. Well, the U.S. Bank home run porch and left. Balls and 2 strikes on Castro. He walked and scored. Twins 3, Royals nothing in the third. Mauer at first, now 2 outs. And Kennedy's 0-2 pitch is outside. A fastball, ball 1. Royals will have 2, 3, and 4 coming up in the fourth. Moustakas, Kane, and Hosmer. Kennedy now is 60 pitches in. And the 1-2 outside, dropped by Perez, but no chance for Joe to advance. That ball off the glove and just about 10 feet up the third base line in foul territory. Now 2-2 on Castro. When you look at the actual player transactions the Twins made this offseason, not much outside of the guy that's batting now. They added some pieces to the bullpen. Derek Falvey and Thad Levine early on. And he set their sights at the guy batting now. And the 2-2, cracked foul to left.
And that was kind of a quick sign. I think that they targeted him. They went out, made him a good offer, and they got the guy they wanted. Belial was a nice fit, and I think what they liked about him is just his preparation, his leadership that he provides for that bullpen.
Jimenez and Breslow, those were non-roster invites. Both made the team. Twins 3, Royals nothing in the third. 2 outs. And the 2-2. Low and inside. Ball 3, a breaking ball. And now Joe will be moving here. 3-2 count and 2 away. Speaking of catching, caught up with Jeff Smith before the game today. Twins' new first base coach, longtime catcher in the minor leagues. More than 20 years of playing in the minor leagues and coaching in the minor leagues. Monday was his first opening day as a player, as a coach at the big league level, and you bet he soaked it in. He had a great time on Monday. His family here. Runner goes, and the 3-2 pitch is poked foul.
You say the same for Pickler. I say his father was in attendance, introduced him to up here the other day. He does coach a lot, I guess, in the Cape Cod League and also at junior college, Southern California.
You see the players, this guy's on his first opening day roster. Sometimes you forget about the coaches who have never been in the big leagues at any level. And a couple of guys who were able to do that on Monday for the first time. Joe runs, and the 3-2, he walked in ball 4. So it was Kennedy who got ahead 1-2, but he loses Castro. There's the fourth walk issued by Kennedy. So Maurer to second. And here comes Eduardo Escobar, number 5, knocked in a run. 0-2 count, got a curveball up and singled to center. Scoring Sano. 1 inning to go. 8-pitch at bat for Jason Castro. Fouled off a few, did not chase, and now 2 on, 2 out. A switch hitting shortstop. Here comes the pitch, a swing and a pop-up foul, Souvenir left side. If the Twins can win today, already 2 games in, they would accomplish something they never did at all last year. And that is win a series against the Royals. And the 0-1 is foul back. This one more of a line drive off some hands, and then the second time caught by a gentleman in a red jacket. Babalu, but still made the play. And the Twins went 4-15 against the Royals. They were 1-9 at the K. They just won 3 times here, but never won a series at all against the Royals last year. 0-2 on Eske. And here's the pitch, and it's low. Had the plate, missed for ball 1. The beginning of the season is just loaded with divisional play. The Twins only have 1 series outside the division the opening month. That's 3 in Texas against the Rangers in late April. 2 on, 2 out. Twins by 3. The 1-2 pitch, a swing and a fly ball into left center, playable for Kane or Gordon. It'll be Kane calling, catching, inning over. Twins don't score. They strand 2, and after 3, it remains Twins 3, Royals nothing. See your local Chevy dealer or log on to ChevyDealer.com today. After 3, Twins by 3. The 4th is on, and so is the 2-time World Series champion, Danny Glenn.
Thank you, Corey. Good afternoon, everybody. Moustakas leads off. First pitch outside, ball 1. Moustakas now 0 for 15 in his career against Hector Santiago. Coming to the ballgame 0 for 4. He struck out swinging his first time up. Homered in the ballgame Monday. And Santiago right back, misses high, 2 balls and no strikes. Talked about a big shutdown inning. Twins got 3 in the bottom of the 2nd. Hector came out top of the 3rd. Got 2 fly ball outs and a strikeout. So he's retired 5 in a row since Perez walked. And there's 3 balls and no strikes. Royals, Ian Kennedy has walked 4 so far this afternoon. Santiago has walked 2. Just 3 hits in a ballgame. Right down Broadway, taken all the way, and it's now 3 balls and 1 strike. Kansas City has had base runners, but no hits. And pitch count at 54 for Santiago, and a 3-1. Pulled foul down the right field line. Couple of strikeouts. Twins have turned 2 double plays behind Santiago. I like the defense here, and same lineup as Monday, other than at shortstop. Eduardo Escobar getting the start. Swung on a miss, got him. So fell behind, 3 balls and no strikes. Comes back and punches his 4th guy out.
Is that a changeup there?
Yeah, something running up and in on him. And I was looking at a monitor here. They show he's got like 5 different pitches, or 5 different grips, I should say, that Hector has. And he was showing them to the TV crew, and that one looked like it was more of a 2-seam fastball that kind of ran up and in. As Kane bats, takes it in there for a strike. I'm sorry, outside, ball 1. He walked. Kane did. 2-out walk. Bats here with 1 out, bases empty. Fouled off right side. Souvenir again. So a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Kane has some pretty good numbers against Santiago, coming in 6 for 18. Swung on a foul tip. Castro hangs on, and now he's ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, Neil Allen started in spring training, talked to the pitchers, and that is fill the strike zone up. We're going to get strike 1. And he talked about, get strike 1. We want a 4-pitch per batter. And missed up and away. Went off speed. So Santiago now at 59 pitches. Paul said maybe around 80, 90 pitches. But Neil Allen, he's stressed. We're going to throw strikes, guys. And we're going to ask you guys, we need you guys to go 7 innings. There's a line drive. That should be the first hit. And one hopper to Buxton in left center field. So Kane, the first hit for Kansas City. And that'll get Hosmer to the plate. Hosmer 0 for 4 to start the season. Well, Twins have turned 2 double plays already. See if we get another one on the ground. Kane can run a little bit, and Santiago, kind of deceptive move. And a quick throw over, and boy, almost had Kane. He was leaning towards second base. Huge lead by Kane, and the pitch to Hosmer outside low. Hosmer 25 home runs, career high, 104 driven in last year. And you look at some of these guys outside of Gordon and Moustakas, everybody played 150 plus games. Hosmer 158. There's a ground ball, and that's going to sneak through, base hit right field. Kane holds up at second base. So Kansas City now, first and second, 1 out for Salvador Perez. Well, that's what happens when you have a runner at first base. First baseman holding that runner, and second baseman in double play depth, so big gap on the right side. And that was just a little two hopper to the right side for a base hit. Kane thought about going to third, but held up. Perez bats. 1 for 3 to start the season. He had 1 hit, 3 trips to the plate on Monday. Walked his first time up here this afternoon. And a pitch. That one's popped up. Playable. And infield fly rule called as Escobar gets underneath it. So Salvador Perez jumped on the first pitch, pops it up. And now it'll be up to Paulo Orlando. Struck out his first time up. Orlando, the only Kansas City Royal player that hit over 300 last year, 302. Had 5 home runs, 43. This guy here, pretty good speed, but he's penciled in to probably be the 4th outfielder. Jorge Solar starting the season on the DL. So Orlando gets the start in right field. Bats here first and second, 2 down. 3-0 Minnesota, top of the 4th. And a pitch down in the end, ball 1.
I'm watching Mike Jerschley, the third base coach, and he is standing on the warning track dirt in front of the Royals dugout, nowhere near the actual box itself for the right-handed batter.
And there has been some talk about third base coaches kind of being monitored a little bit to stay near that chalk line with called the third base coaching box. And the 1-0 swung on and missed, went off speed, and now 1 ball, 1 strike. I think the umpires are going to be a little lenient on that, only because of the danger that they're in, and that's the only reason Jerschley is probably 5 feet from the steps going into the Kansas City Royals dugout.
You know, as long as they don't get much closer to the plate, Danny, then I can see the umpires maybe intervening a bit more.
He'll check Kane at second. Hosmer, the runner, at first. 1-1. And fouled off left side. Now ahead 1-2. Well, there's been coaches that have been known to relay signs to the hitter. And in particular, when we were at the Yankees, Zelli was the first base coach for the Yankees, and he would almost, catcher given the signs, he would almost be on first base. He'd be that close to the chalk line looking in. And from a right-handed hitter standpoint, once they give the signs, easy for a coach to either clap his hands or adjust his ball cap. Pitch high and tight. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes. And think about it, if you're a right-handed hitter, your peripheral, you can kind of take your eyes over there and see that third base coach maybe kind of grab his hat, adjust his cap, maybe clap his hand like he's rooting for you. And he's relaying what pitch might be coming. And I remember Gardy was managing and came out and asked the umpires to have Mazzilli get in the coaching box. Big pitch, 2-2 on the way. There's a line drive. That's going to be a base hit left field. Kane can run. And here comes a throw. And cut off by Sano, by Rosario. Nice throw. Kane does run well, but Sano, if you're going to cut that ball, you got to cut it and make a throw. If not, just let that ball kind of come to the plate. So a 2-out base hit by Paulo Orlando has Kansas City on the board. Good pitch by Santiago. Broke his bat. And I'm not sure even if he lets that go, if it's going to kind of 2-3 hop into home plate. But on target, had something on it. So now Cuthbert bats. So 3 hits in the inning after Santiago had not given up any. Cuthbert hit into the 6-4-3 double play his first time up. Did hit the ball hard. And a pitch high and tight. Arches his back. Well, one thing the Kansas City Royals, in their heyday, 2015, they were known for comeback wins. Popped up right side. Now we're going to give chase, but that's going to reach the seats. Kansas City had so many come-from-behind wins. Last year, 81 and 81. 2015, they won the World Series 95 and 67. 2014, went to the World Series, lost 89 and 73. And they were 86-76 in 2013, so there was the uptick. Fly ball right field, should be playable. Kepler drifting back and has room and puts it away. Kansas City puts 3 hits together and pick up a run. Its opening day is Sunday. It's April 23rd. Detroit Tigers are in town. Kids can enter through Sunday, April 9th, for a chance to participate in special pregame honorary activities. Plus, the first 5,000 kids 14 and under to the ballgame are going to receive a Twins customizable T-shirt. Visit twinsbaseball.com/kids opening day for more information. Here's Rosario swinging at the first pitch. Lifts it lazily to left field as Gordon one-hands it and puts that one away. So Kennedy 1 pitch, 1 out. Back to the top of the order for Dozier. Got an RBI, his first RBI of the season on a ground out with the bases loaded in the 2nd inning. I'm sorry, Robbie Grossman bats. He's the DH batting 9th. Robbie in the ballgame Monday struck out 3 times but walked twice, one of them huge, a bases loaded walk. He walked his first time up. Here this afternoon, takes a fastball on the inside corner for a strike. He had Kennedy at 71 pitches. And Ian should be at that 100-pitch mark. And a righty delivers. Missed down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ian Kennedy had 5 starts in spring training, 19 in the 3rd innings. He had 22 strikeouts. And in spring training, he threw 18 in the 3rd innings without allowing any runs. Got roughed up in Texas. Swung on a missed on a changeup or a curveball in the dirt. So now on the hole, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 3-1 Minnesota. Hits now even at 3 apiece. Kennedy last year tied a career high 33 starts. It was his first season with Kansas City. And a ground ball playable. Escobar at short. And over to Hosmer to retire Robbie Grossman. 2 down and now Dozier will bat. And Kennedy held opponents to a 192 batting average, runners in scoring position. That was 4th best. American League pitchers. Did allow the 3rd most, tied for the 3rd most home runs, 33. And also, Twins' Hector Santiago gave up 33 bombs. Little cut piece down and away, ball 1 to Dozier. Dozier reaches, Max Kepler would bat. Twins got 3 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Helped out, there was a couple of walks, base hit Escobar, drove in the first run. Strike called. Right on the outside corner. Eddie Rosario followed that with a base hit. Picked up his first RBI, and then Brian Dozier hit a double play ball, beat it out. Missed outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Twins play another afternoon day game tomorrow and then head into Chicago. Missed up and away. Kyle Gibson, impressive spring for Kyle Gibson. He'll go against Jason Hamill. Twins go on the first road trip. Looking forward to it. Chicago, Detroit. Ground ball pulled foul past Gene Glenn.
Ton of day games too, Danny.
Yeah, when do we get to play our first night game?
Friday night,
All
Chicago.
Right.
And then
Hope
day
the
game
weather
Saturday.
breaks a little bit.
It is supposed to. It's raining today in Chicago, rain tomorrow in Chicago, but after that,
good to go.
Looking good.
All right.
Looking good.
And are you staying with us at the hotel? Or are you going to stay with family?
I'm going to stay with family.
Save the Twins some money. I like it. And a pitch. And that ball, I think, might have hit Dozier. No 3-2 pitch inside, laid off the breaking ball. Another walk issued by Ian Kennedy, his 5th of the game. So that will get Kepler to the plate. Kepler looking for a hit here this afternoon. Had a big bunt base hit. Monday's ball game. Like how Paul said, everybody kind of contributed in one way or another in that big win. Quick throw over, and somebody's collaring Bach. Trying to get Kennedy to stop. So Dozier, a threat to steal already, a stolen base here this afternoon. And here's the pitch. Changeup missed outside. Well, with 2 down, runner at first, you got a guy at Dozier who can run a little bit. You've got a good catcher in Perez behind the plate, but at the same time, up 3-1, you've got to still play your game. And Dozier, most likely, if he gets a jump or gets a read, he's on his own to steal. Not running here, and the pitch goes off speed, missed. Now 2 balls and no strikes. Kennedy did walk 66 batters last year. He had 195 2/3 innings, so he does walk per start. And the pitch, check swing, ground ball. Fielded by Escobar, has to go to first, and does, to retire Kepler. Kepler, swing, and just hit it hard into the shortstop. Twin Strand 1, we've completed 4, 3-1. The order on Alex Gordon. A fun-filled Caribbean getaway, closer than you think when you can escape to Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Discover your paradise at TICasino.com. Santiago rocks and delivers off speed in there for a strike. Good pitch. Win off speed. Alcides Escobar, premier shortstop. Played 162, all of them last year. Fouled off right side. He's in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Escobar does not walk much. He likes to get up there and swing the bat. Monday made his 7th straight opening day start. That tied Alex Gordon for the longest active streak by a Royal. And the 0-2 pitch hit high in the air, center field. Buxton drifting back, and he'll 2-hand that one to put that one away. So 3 pitches, 1 out. And here's Raul Mondesi down swinging his first time up. Escobar going to be one of the free agents, if not signed, during the course of the season. Escobar, though, did appear in 7 ball games with Team Venezuela during the World Baseball Classic. Hit .375. A lot of talented players on their respective clubs. Of course, USA won it. And a pitch high and tight. Eric Hosmer was on that. First baseman for the Kansas City Royals. Sano, even with a bag at third, Mondesi can run well. Maurer just shading back just a little bit. And this one's weakly popped up also. Shallow right. Kepler in. Dozier out. It could be Kepler calling. And he puts that one away. So 2 lazy fly ball outs. Nice job by Santiago. He's looking for that quick. Here's where you get 2 quick outs. And you got a lefty and Gordon. Go right after him. Gordon hit by a pitch his first time up. And with Moustakas batting, 3 balls and 2 strikes, Gordon took off. Kind of a delayed steal, and Moustakas struck out. Castro threw out Gordon at second base. And here's the pitch missed outside. Boy, and that upset Hector Santiago. Over threw that fastball, and he's thinking the same thing. 2 quick outs. Most likely Gordon going to take some pitches. And there's a strike on the outside corner. Been getting that call all afternoon. Home plate umpire Tony Randazzo. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Infield playing Gordon to pull. Outfield shading the other way. And there's a strike. Boy, buckled him, and Gordon shakes his head like, all right, he fooled me there. And now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Top of the 5th, 3-1 Minnesota. Twins bullpen active. Slow curve, ground ball right to Dozier. Dives for it, bobbles it briefly, comes up just in time to get Gordon. Boy, Dozier, he backhanded it, kind of bobbled it in the transfer, but still had enough on the throw to get Gordon, who runs well. So good defense for the Twins, and a nice job, Hector Santiago. 3 up, 3 down. Twins coming to bat, lead 3-1. You're listening to Twins Baseball.
This is Tyler Duffy. You're listening to the Alternative Channel.
Byron Buxton leads off. Good speed at the plate for his first hit. And a first pitch slider down and away, laid off. Buxton, a couple of strikeouts, once looking and one swinging in the 3rd inning. Went down swinging to lead off the 3rd. Did try to bunt and fouled it off as Kennedy delivers. Missed outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Buxton had 4 at-bats in the opener on Monday, 3 punch-outs there, so 5 strikeouts mountain here for Buxton, but 1 swing at a bat breaks him right out. And lifted into left field, got jammed a little bit, and in front of the warning track, Gordon puts that one away. That's an at-bat right there. You go back in, maybe talk to Rousen, your hitting coach, and you know what? 2 balls, no strikes. Got in on me with a cutter just a little bit, but still, ball got out near the warning track. And here's Joe Mauer to bat. Mauer picked up his first base hit, his last time up. Solid base hit to left field. So 1 out. Kennedy delivers. That's in there for a strike. Kennedy has walked 5 here this afternoon, 4 strikeouts. No, the 5 walks, 2 have come around to score. He hurt himself back in the 2nd inning. Twins got 2 hits, scored 3. And a pitch. Line drive, center field, Kane right there, and puts that one away. Hardly had to move. So with 2 down, bases empty. Here's Sano to bat. Sano last time up, boy, hit a high fly ball caught on the warning track up against the wall by Alex Gordon. Sano with 1 out walk back in that 3-run 2nd inning. Scored the first run on a base hit by Escobar. Three to 1 Minnesota. Hits again, just 3. Twins in the ballgame had 8 hits Monday, just 3 hits for Kansas City. Little slide piece outside, miss, laid off. Ball 1. was looking at the 8 hits, and I had to go back. Twins had, I believe it was just 1 extra base hit, and that was the home run hit by Sano. Big swing and a miss. Kansas City bullpen quiet as Kennedy steps off, asks Perez to go through a fresh set of signs. Outfield deep, infield deep. And nice little slider there, catches the outside corner, and now ahead 1-2. Kennedy toes the rubber third base side, so he gives you that little cross shoot to the right-handed hitters. And lifted foul. Ned Yost, manager of this Kansas City ball club, entering his 7th year as the skipper of the Kansas City Royals. That stability in that spot. And a 1-2. Popped up again, this one over the Twins dugout. But Ned Yost from the Bay Area, he went to Chabot Junior College in Hayward, California. Did not play against him, but did play against Chabot. Missed inside on a changeup, boy. And Kennedy wanted that pitch. Now at 93 pitches for Ian Kennedy, we are in the bottom of the 5th inning. Two on the way. Swung on a miss, went off speed. So 3 up, 3 down inning for Ian Kennedy. And the Kansas City Royals, we've got 5 in the books here at Target Field, and it's the Twins 3, Royals 1 on your home for Twins baseball.
You're listening to the Modern Alternative Champ.
And much more. Groups of 25 or more qualify for a special ticket discount, and you can reserve traditional stadium seats without a deposit. Just go to twinsbaseball.com, pick up the phone, call them at 800-33-TWINS. Number 2 hitter Mike Moustakas DHing here this afternoon, 0 for 2 strikeouts. Now 0 for 16 career against Santiago, takes a high strike call. Tyler Duffy warming for the Twins, and he's been throwing since the last inning. 82 pitches for Santiago. And a breaking ball catches the outside corner. Good pitch. Quickly ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Said that 90 pitch mark, 80, 90 pitch mark for Santiago might be it. We're in the 6th inning. If he get through this, be a great outing. And a breaking ball missed outside. Moustakas 1 for 6, 1 for 4 in the opener, homered. And at the time, he homered in the 4th inning, leading it off. Gave Kansas City a 1-0 lead. And laid off a breaking ball. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Twins answered right back with a 1-out homer by Miguel Sano. And then the Twins pushed 6 runs across in the 7th inning, helped out by some walks. Lead here 3-1. Fouled back, good cut. Moustakas. Rough year last year, just 27 ball games in 21 games this spring. And I looked at some of the numbers. He had 61 at bats. Moustakas had 12 hits. He had 5 home runs. 2-2 on the way. Fouled back again. And Moustakas, one of the 4 big players for the Kansas City Royals. He'll be able to hit free agency at the end of this season. Warming for Kansas City, Mike Minor, left-hander. And a 2-2 ground ball. And that's going to sneak through for a base hit. Dozier had been playing him to pull, and Moustakas hit it on the ground where normally a second baseman would play, but it's going to go for a leadoff base hit. And at 87 pitches, that's Paul Molitor going to come out of the dugout. So he's going to grab that ball, pat him on the backside. Nice job, Hector Santiago. This pitch change brought to you by Summit Brewing Company, sponsor of the Animal Humane Society's 43rd annual Walk for the Animals. Sign up to walk, support the animal. Here for that number 5th starting spot in spring training. And he appeared in 5 spring training games, did pitch in some minor league games. 2 of those 5 were starts. Went 2-0. He threw 11 2/3 innings, gave up 5 earned runs. This will be his first career relief appearance. Made 36 career starts, all with the Minnesota Twins from 2015 to 16. And also making his first career opening day roster. So Duffy on here in the top half of the 6th inning, 1 out. Moustakas doesn't run well at first base, and Kane hits it high in the air right field. Should be playable. Kepler drifting back. Step on the warning track, puts that one away. So Kane, first pitch swinging and flies out. And here's Eric Hosmer. He singled his last time up. And Duffy, no question, he wanted to get in that rotation, and they battled. Alberto Mejia is going to be the 5th starter right now. And keeping Duffy, that's where they ended up with 13 pitchers. And a pitch off speed, nice breaking ball there. I think there's less concern with Duffy pitching out of the bullpen than it would have been Mejia having him be the long guy out of the bullpen. Well, Duffy sets with a runner at first. Little jam shot center field, going to be playable. Buxton to his right and puts that one away. So Duffy's come on and got Kane to fly out there. Hosmer flew out. And here comes Salvador Perez. A lot of these guys, they don't walk much. Kansas City, fewest walks in baseball last year, just 382 walks.
And Danny, look at this matchup right now. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. You think, all right, traditionally, advantage pitcher. Well, last year, Duffy had more problems with righties than lefties. It was a significant gap.
Well, he got Kane to fly out, and he got Hosmer. Now he needs a 3rd out here, and Salvador Perez, Twins leading 3-1.
And not just average, but other power numbers, home runs, advantage righties than lefties against the righty Duffy a year ago.
You look at Duffy's all-around year last year. The ERA is what jumps out, 6.43. And this one's way out in front, and it's pulled off the screen in front of the Royals dugout, 3rd base side, so Perez out in front. Duffy had 26 starts. His win-loss record, 9 wins, 12 losses. And again, he's making his debut out of the bullpen here with this appearance. So 2 down, Moustakas at first base. Perez, good power. And a pitch, line drive, caught by Sano at 3rd base. Now it's ticketed for extra base hits down the left field line. Well stroked, good job, Duffy. So they strand one. Twins coming to bat, still up 3-1. And you're listening to Twins. Pitcher's going to be left-hander Mike Minor, and he'll be facing Castro, Escobar, and Rosario before they bat. We'll pause 10 seconds, allow our stations to identify themselves. You're listening to Twins Baseball.
It's Miles to DJ afternoons on 96.3 KQGO FM, Edina, Minneapolis, St. Paul, the alternative channel, and your home for Twins Baseball.
Well, new pitcher Mike Minor signed with Kansas City as a Major League free agent on February 19th. He'll have 5 years of big league service, but a lot of that big league service has been on the disabled list. Missed all of 2015 due to an injury. First round draft pick, 7th overall by the Atlanta Braves. And a first pitch to Castro. That's over the plate, but low, ball 1. 3 runs, 3 hits for Minnesota. 1 run on 4 hits for the Kansas City Royals. And missed way outside. Castro here this afternoon. He has reached both times by way of a walk. And here's the pitch down and away. 3 balls and no strikes. Minor came on in the ball game on Monday, bottom of the 8th inning. Gave up 1 hit, had a strikeout. Falling behind here, 3 balls and no strikes. Castro most likely taken. And catches the outside corner for a strike. The appearance by Minor on Monday was his first one in the big league since September of 2014. 3-1 pitch lifted foul. So full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Did pitch in the Royals organization last year in the minor leagues. And lifted foul, could be playable. Gordon long run, foul territory near the wall, and going to run out of room. But you look at the career of Minor, and said he's selected by the Atlanta Braves first round, 7th overall. First couple of years he was a starter. And made it to the big leagues 1 year after being drafted. The Atlanta Braves brought him up, had 8 starts, went 3-2. And then the following year, 2011, had 15 starts, went 5-3. Did start 30 ball games for Atlanta in 2012. When healthy, effective. As Minor's 3-2 pitch on the way. We walked him. 3 walks for Castro here this afternoon. Ian Kennedy, 5 innings, 3 hits. He walked 5 and 5 strikeouts. And of those 5 walks, that got him in trouble a little bit, especially in that 3-run second inning. 1-out walk to Sano, pitched him carefully, and then walked Castro. And then Escobar, he had him, Escobar, no balls and 2 strikes, and made a mistake pitch with a breaking ball. As Escobar turns around, bats right-handed, takes it in there for a strike. So Castro at first base, nobody out. Lefty Minor. There's a caught, bobbled by Hosmer out of his glove, and then barehands it. And Castro was on his way to second base. Hosmer kind of a juggle act. And goes in, his glove pops out. Popped it up again, and then eventually barehanded it. And all he did was step on the bag and doubled up Castro. Good piece of hitting right there, trying to go the other way. Said Hosmer earlier in the ballgame had to call timeout and exchange his glove. Lace broke on it, so he's been using his backup, and now I see that he's got his regular first base, his gamer on at first base. Rosario bats, takes it high and tight, ball 1. Rosario RBI single back in that 3-run second, flew out to left. And here's the 0-1. Swung and foul tipped, good cut. Here's Minor's 1-1. Swung on and foul tipped off the shin guard of Perez. Rosario now in a hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Minor pitched well in spring training through 14 innings. Gave up just 1 earned run. Had 13 strikeouts. You look at the Kansas City numbers in spring training. A lot of their hitters had high at bats. Anywhere between 55, 63 at bats. And that's a lot of bats if you kind of compare them to some of the other teams. 1-2, foul back, good cut again. Some of the new players for Kansas City. Jason Hamill going to pitch tomorrow. Also, Nathan Carnes, a starter. Brandon Moss played in the ballgame Monday, and Jorge Solar, he's on the DL. Tapper foul, staying alive. Some of the players Kansas City are missing. Wade Davis. And that was the trade to Chicago for Solar, but Gerard Dyson gone now with Seattle. Luke Hochshaver, #1 draft pick, and I believe he still is unsigned out there. Chris Medlin, Edison Volquez, and of course the passing of Giordano Ventura. Pitch down and away, and that'll even it up 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rosario reaches. Robbie Grossman would bat. Lefty Minor shakes off. Perez now nods his head. 2-2. Ground ball. Second base, Mondesi. Bobbles briefly, comes up throwing in time. Well, good hustle by Rosario. Made that close there on the little bobbaloo by Mondesi. 3 up, 3 down for Speed Internet. We start the top of the 7th inning. Nice job by Duffy. 1 inning. He'll give way to the right-hander, Matt Belisle. And to take you the rest of the way, here's Corey Provis.
Hi, Danny. Thank you. Belisle on for the 2nd time this season. Worked a scoreless 8th inning on Monday. A strikeout facing Orlando in the 7th today as a fastball misses inside. Ball 1. Belisle, fastball, slider. Fastball 89, 90 with a slider mixed in. A ground ball pitcher when he's working well. Orlando 1 for 2 has a strikeout and a run-scoring single that came in the 4th inning. From the stretch and the 1-0. There's a slider at the knees for a strike called. And we're scoring recap, really 2 innings. Telling the scoring story today in the 2nd. Twins batting. With 1 out, a walk to Sano, a walk to Jason Castro. Eduardo Escobar ripping a run-scoring single to center to make it 1-0. And the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Slider. 1-2. Eddie Rosario followed with a RBI hit himself to make it 2-0 later. Brian Dozier, fielder's choice RBI, scored Eduardo Escobar from third base to make it 3-0. And the Royals, with their only run so far, that came in the 4th, and Orlando's RBI single to left. And Belisle deals 1-2, ground ball to third, down the line. It's foul. Foul, even though fielded and thrown well by Sano. It was ruled foul. Now the third base umpire, Jerry Davis, but Sano played that well all around. Backhand glove, he knows Orlando can run. And plenty on that throw. That looked close, but it was called foul by the veteran umpire and crew chief. Stays 1-2.
Well, it looked like Orlando. He ran all the way down first base with his bat in his hand.
He hit the line in front of the bag and then maybe worked foul, just missing the corner.
Well, you like to play where just continue. Don't anticipate. Don't you be the umpire. Let the umpire make that call, so just continue the play like it is fair.
And the 1-2. He got him. Strike 3 called on a fastball. Freezing Orlando. Strikeout for Belisle. 1 up, 1 down. Belisle at 36 years old is the oldest Twin on the active roster. So 1 down for the third baseman, right-handed batting Chesler Cuthbert, who was lined out and bounced into a double play ball today. And the pitch is a slider missing down low, ball 1. I was asking Paul Molitor before the game on Monday regarding the Twins bullpen, knowing that Kinsler is going to close. Are innings and roles defined? Will guys have a set inning? And the 1-0 pitch is inside. The answer is no. Just because it's Belisle today in the 7th doesn't mean in a tightly played game that it will always be Belisle in the 7th inning. And Ryan Presley and Taylor Rogers, maybe even Craig Breslow, they will factor in. And the 2-0 is low and inside, 3-0 with Escobar on deck. Just the makeup of the bullpen. In fact, Rogers is warming up as we speak.
I think it's apparent, though, that you've got Justin Haley, Rule 5 guy that would make his Major League debut. I'm not sure what situation he wants to bring him in.
Doesn't get me over strike, Danny. 3-1.
But I think, like Paul said, he's trying to get everybody in. He wants to get everybody in these ball games here earlier rather than later. We saw Escobar in the ball game here today. He's going to try to get Danny Santana in the ball game. He needs to get Jimenez in a game.
And it's low and inside, ball 4 on a slider, so 1-out walk, and then he'll bring up the tying run. And Alcides Escobar.
And I think it's a little different for the bullpen guys. Yes, you want to have them try to get into certain games, but at the same time, you're trying to win these games. And he's Danny Santana, a big part of this team, as is Escobar, as is Jimenez.
Hit and run combination here for the Royals. Orlando runs well. Escobar really good. Astute at knocking the ball to the right side. Down by 2 in the 7th.
He is good, and we've seen that in the past. But down by 2 runs, yes, maybe trying to get something going, but you can also run into an out.
Orlando leads, doesn't go. A slider misses outside, ball 1.
But yes, probably Escobar, one of the premier hit and run guys, because he loves to swing the bat. And when you put the hit and run on, you're anticipating this pitcher throwing a strike. But with Escobar, it can be out of the zone. He's still going to swing, still going to put the ball in play.
Nathan Carnes, right-hander, warming up in the Royals bullpen. 1 out, Twins by 2. The 1-0 pitch is peeled foul off the net behind the plate. A fastball.
You know how many times that Tom Kelly would come in, he'd put a hit and run on, he'd apologize to the player that he made swing the bat because he was anticipating he was going to throw a strike on that particular count, and you're forcing the hitter to swing the bat. And sometimes they swing at a ball that's out of the zone, and he'll apologize sometimes to the player and try to do a better job next time.
Escobar's flat out twice to center. Orlando stays, and the 1-1. Strike 2. Took something off that breaking ball, came back inside. And it was a called strike 2, 1 and 2 on Alcides Escobar. Back in 2010 December, Escobar and Kane and others in that group that were traded from Milwaukee to Kansas City. And the deal that brought Zach Greinke to the Brewers. 1 and 2 on Escobar. Twins lead 3-1, and the pitch off speed is lifted to right, foul out of play. Slicing to the seats about 10 rows back. The line was the TC socks, visible, pulled up high. Those cream-colored pants cut off at the knee. Or number 9, the second Twins pitcher ever with a single-digit uniform number. 1 and 2, and the pitch hit foul again. The other Pat Mahomes wore number 5 for 1 year in the mid-'90s. As Belial told us in camp, something he wore in high school, other times as an amateur. As he was driving around to his hometown in Austin, he was going through some possibilities, some uniform numbers that were available. And various license plates and billboards. He kept seeing number 9. And the 1-2 foul back.
You're going to say
inside.
You say he hit Powerball on a lottery ticket at number 9 or something.
No, but after he agreed to the deal, the Hot Rod McCormick, the Twins' outstanding clubhouse manager, and others with the Twins front office, they were chatting with Matt about uniform number, and he asked what's available. They went through about 4 or 5 numbers, and he said, all right, can I think about it for a day? And they said, sure, and the next day they all agreed on number 9. Twins at double play depth, 1 out, leading 3-1. And again, the 1-2, another foul. This is what Escobar will do. He may spoil and spoil. And his on-base percentage did drop last year. That's why he's not batting near the top. He was in the 280s last year. That was a good pitch from Belial. A slider dipping down beneath the knee. Had Escobar reaching, but he fought it off. 8th pitch of the at-bat. Twins lead 3-1, 7th inning, 1 out. And the 1-2. Got him swinging. Chase that time. More of a curveball. 75 in the radar gun. And Escobar strikes out with his switch hitter Mondesi due up. Paul Molitor is going to go to the bullpen and bring in left-hander Taylor Rogers. So Belial strikes out Orlando. Cuthbert walks. And Escobar strikes out. So with 2 outs, it'll be Rogers coming in to face the switch-hitting Mondesi. We'll step aside in the 7th. The Royals batting 1 on, 2 outs. Twins 3, Royals 1. Chris has scores next. From mid-June to mid-July, that was the longest by any Twin all of last year. Mondesi, a switch hitter, turns around and bats from the right side. Cuthbert at first base, 2 outs. Twins lead 3-1. Mondesi showing bunt, pulled it back. And a fastball missing high, ball 1. Mondesi last year hitting right-handed at a 146 average, left-handed 202, so he's batting from the right side now as Cuthbert leads, and there's a bunt third base line, rolling, going foul. And now it's 1-1 on Raul Mondesi Jr. 0 for 2 today, has struck out fly to right, now 0 for 5 to begin the season. Man, that was like so many around baseball, specifically with the Royals, so close to Yordano Ventura, so much so that Mondesi, when he was called up last season, he stayed at Ventura's house. One ball, 1 strike, Sano even with the bag at third. And here's the pitch high, snagged by Jason Castro, ball 2. Kind of had the feeling, Danny, all along in spring training, trying to fill out slots in the bullpen, that Taylor Rogers, he wouldn't admit it, nor should he, but he was pretty much a lock. Based on last year, we knew the Twins would leave camp with 1 lefty, and that 1 lefty being Rogers. They have 2 with Breslow. And the 2-1 pitch, swing and a foul. Late cut, fastball 92. Castro hangs on to a 2-2.
I think a lot of it goes into, first of all, his makeup, preparation. He's got stuff where he can get right-handed hitters out with as well. So he's one of those guys that has more than just that 2-pitch mix. But he's going to be used here. And I think Paul came out and used him because they might have been going to the bench and bringing in the Moss. So Paul beat him to the punch.
The 2-2 breaking ball, he went. Strike 3, a curveball. Mondesi chasing. He strikes out, inning over. A walk, but nothing else. We stretch at Target Field. Twins 3, Royals 1. From Target Field, this is Twins Baseball.
This is Denny Santana. You are listening to the home for the Minnesota Twins. Go 963.
For over 140 years, Heinz.
We stretch here at Target Field. Twins 3, Royals 1. New pitcher for Kansas City. Making his Royals debut, Nathan Carnes. Last season with Seattle. 22 appearances, made 15 starts. ERA was over 5. Acquired by the Royals in early January for Gerard Dyson. So Carnes, 6'3", 225, broke in with Washington in 2013, then Tampa Bay in 2014, 15, and then Seattle last year. Grossman, Dozier, Kepler due up as the Twins hope to add on, leading 3-1. Ravi's walked and bounced out to short today. The switch-hitting DH batting left-handed. As Carnes deals a check swing, fastball strike at 92, and it's 0-1. Carnes, 29 years old. And the 0-1 pitch, shot the outside corner, missed away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Twins bullpen quiet right now. And the 1-1 took something off. Curveball, strike 2 with Gordon and Moustakas set to lead off the 8th inning. You could see Taylor Rogers staying in to face those 2 left-handed batters to begin the 8th inning. Twins only have 3 hits, still lead 3-1. And the 1-2 in the dirt, knocked down and saved by Perez, 2-2. Carnes works off the first base side. The 2-2 got him looking. A change up, no argument there from Robbie Grossman. So 1 up and 1 down.
Karn's the 5th starter in this rotation for Kansas City, but with that day off, they are one of the few teams, I guess, that will skip that 5th starter. So making his debut with Kansas City right here out of the bullpen, but he's going to be a starter with Kansas City.
Twins will not skip Irvin Santana nor Adalberto Mejia for that matter, as he is set to go on Saturday, making his first start. Some teams, you're right, some teams with the off days opt to go to kind of a 4-man rotation to start the year. Pitch is low on Dozier, ball 1. Brian with an RBI today. Fielder's choice RBI in the second, officially 0 for 2 with a walk. And a 1-0, fastball missed away, 2-0. Carnes makes his home at Dallas. 2-0, ball 3 low. The starters today. Hector Santiago went 5+, 1 run, 4 hits. He struck out 4. Ian Kennedy, he went 5 innings, 3 runs. He struck out 5, but walked 5. And the 3-0 pitch is a strike called on the right-handed batting second baseman. 93 on the radar gun. So Carnes, a new Royal. Twins will see another new one in Jason Hamill tomorrow, opposite Kyle Gibson. The 3-1, delayed strike 2 called. Ooh, the Twins thought that was low. Dozier was set to take off that shin guard, take his base, but Tony Randazzo, only number 2 to stay put, 3-2. Looked like it did clip the very bottom edge of the strike zone. Who knows, a year from now, if rules change, the strike zone is shrunk, that's a ball. The 3-2 knocked foul to right. That was in discussion a lot this offseason, Danny, about moving the strike zone up.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, is that trying to
increase more action, increase swing the bat a little bit more, put the ball in play?
Well, then just call strikes more often.
Righty to righty. The 3-2 ground ball in the hole. It's short and through, base hit left field. Cuthbert a diving attempt to his left, but Dozier pulling a single to left. His first hit today, his second hit this season. I'm with you there. That was one that always, I didn't get it last year when it was discussed. Because if there's so much focus on pace of play, if you shrink the strike zone, there's going to be maybe more walks, but there also may be more action. And more action, more balls in play could lead to bigger innings, and hence longer games.
You know, and certain umpires have certain styles, and I think that, you know, some umpires like to have a small strike zone to start the ball game. And as the game goes along, they eventually kind of open it up a little bit.
Check on Bryant back in safely. Dozier stole a base earlier in the second.
There's other umpires that you know going into the game before you even get that first at bat. The guy calling balls and strikes, he's got a wide zone, so anything outside, inside, you better be swinging. Then you have that umpire that's wide and high and low, and need a paddle.
Kepler 0 for 3, 1 out as Max looks at a fastball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Royals looking for that double play ball right now. Kepler so far 1 for 7 in the young season, batting second today. Not shocking. Something we kind of hinted would happen against right-handed pitching. Max moving up to the number 2 slot. Saw this Summit camp after he hit 8th on Monday. And the 1-0, a check swing and a changeup. It's low, 2-0. Kepler 17 home runs last year. Many of them coming in June. Dozier stays, the 2-0. Kepler takes a strike. It's a fastball right down the middle. It's been overcast all day. Lights have been on from the start. The sun has been trying to just sneak through the clouds all day long. Carnes from the stretch. Holds high. Dozier runs, and the pitch is low. Throw to second base, not in time. Pitch was called a ball, and Perez's throw went high. Escobar, no chance to tag out Dozier. The shortstop covering to his left had to jump up and keep that ball from going into center. But Dozier had a great jump. That's a Quick Trip stolen base for Brian Dozier. Slide into your neighborhood. Quick Trip for a free 32-ounce Big Buddy fountain drink. Text STEEL to 77887 now for your coupon for a free fountain drink. That's STEEL to 77887. Quick Trip, proud partner of the Minnesota Twins. Dozier swiped 18 last year, 2 so far this year, both coming today. Well, base hit should score a run. Outfield playing back. Good count for Kepler, 3-1. And the pitch is high, ball 4. He walked it. Did open up first base somewhat there, Danny. Now the righty-righty matchup in Buxton.
He's still a tough guy to double up here, but you know, talking to Dozier jokingly, what'd you say, 18 stolen bases last year? I go, you know what? You got to get in that 20-20 club. And he looked at him and he goes, no, 40 club.
Nice, good answer.
Yeah. To me, it surprised me because he knows that's a special club out there. I think Jose Canseco was the first guy to get to that 40-40 club.
Dozier stole a career-best 21 as Buxton swings and taps foul at the plate, 0-1.
I always felt third base was easier to steal than second base because it kind of plays in front of you. You're stealing the bag off of the infield, or if they're playing back. But in this case here with one out, they're in double play depth, so they're near the bag anyway, and that's exactly what Mondesi is doing. So the lead by Dozier is going to be shortened up a little bit. But also, depending on that third baseman, if they're playing way back, it's kind of a foot race.
So 2 on, 1 out. Buxton waits 0-1, seeking his first hit of the season. Here it comes. He swings and lines one to left down the line, but foul. And now 0-2 on Byron. Buxton 0 for 3, struck out twice. He had a 2-0 pitch. Just got jammed a bit back in the 5th inning and lined out to left. Now in the hole, 0-2. Maurer looming next. Royals bullpen quiet. Both teams 4 hits. Both teams have left 5. 0-2 on Buxton. And the pitch got him. Strike 3, swinging low fastball at 93. So Buxton strikes out for the 3rd time. It's now 6 strikeouts and 9 at bats. So 2 outs, and it's up to number 7. He's 1 for 3 today. Meeting at the mound. This is players only. Third baseman Cuthbert, catcher Perez, and the pitcher Carnes. And that meeting is now over. Perez, mask on his head, jogging back towards home plate. And a spot here for Maurer. Picked up an RBI on Monday. 1 for 6 to start the year. Maurer 1 lifetime at bat against Carnes, and he doubled. So it's a walk 3 times. As Joe led her high. Nope, it's up. Fastball, ball 1. Now the Royals have a lefty getting loose in the bullpen. They've used one already in Mike Minor. They have Travis Wood and also Fargo native Matt Strahm, who took the loss on opening day. Huge gap at center, right center for Joe. And a 1-0 pitch off speed low. So 2 balls and no strikes. Right fielder Orlando covering the gap somewhat towards right center. He's a good 100-plus feet off the line. It is Strahm warming in the Kansas City bullpen. Big chance here for the Twins. Good count for Maurer. 2 on, 2 out. Twins by 2. And the 2-0 fastball. The high strike called. Now 2-1. Top of the order coming up for Kansas City in the 8th. Gordon, Moustakas, and Kane. Carnes glances back towards second. Dozier, healthy lead. Kepler the same at first. And the 2-1, not close, ball 3. A changeup that seemed to just leave the grip of Carnes upon release. So he took 2-0. It was a strike, and now 3-1. And here it comes, and it's a changeup outside, ball 4. Another walk, and that will load him up for Sano. Well, the 7th inning was the decisive inning for the Twins on Monday. It's a 3-1 game right now, but can the Twins do it again in the 7th inning today? Sano took a bases-loaded walk on Monday for his second RBI. He has walked today, flied out to the wall and left, and also struck out swinging. Righty to righty. And here's the pitch, breaking ball, outside, ball 1. Sano has had 17 chances for that first grand slam. Doesn't have one yet. So right now his 18th chance. With the bases loaded at the big league level. And the 1-0 pitch, a swing and a drive into right center field and deep. This is back towards the wall. It's up, and that ball is going to be off the top of the wall in play. 1 run scores, 2 runs score. Mauer to third, Sano to third. It's a bases-clearing triple for Miguel Sano. He just missed that grand slam. Twins, they'll break it open again in the 7th and now lead 6-1. Missed a grand slam by inches. The very top of the wall in right center. Opposite field power, and Sano clears him. And the Twins once again cash in on the walks. A 3-run inning, and that will end the day for Nate Carnes as Matt Strom is coming in. It'll be Castro to bat when we come back as the Twins have scored 3 and hopefully not done. Lead 6-1. Chris has scores next on your home for Twins baseball.
Do you find yourself holding your phone or menus further and further from your eyes or straining to see the words? Our arms are only so long, and life is too short to miss out on what
may be Chicago bound. A look at StatCast brought to you by Mayo Clinic Sports Medicine. Sano's bases clearing triple. Exit velocity 105 miles per hour. Missing a grand slam by truly inches above the out-of-town scoreboard in right center. Matt Strom, West Fargo native, facing Jason Castro, and Castro takes high, ball 1. StatCast provides a new way of measuring performance. Mayo Clinic Sports Medicine knows there is only one goal: to outperform. Meet your goals by visiting sportsmedicine.mayoclinic.org. Twins lead 6-1, ball 2. Jason Castro. Danny, we know that Sano has power to left. We've seen that before. We've seen the power to center. And there it is on display out to right center.
Yeah, good swing right there. And that was actually a pitch that was kind of middle half in.
And the 2-0, it's high, ball 3. This was Strom's problem on Monday. Couldn't throw strikes.
It has to be frustrating. I know Dave Island, pitching coach for Kansas City, but he's had the matchups that they wanted with the guys coming out of the bullpen. And yesterday, Strom, and now here. Trying to get the lefty-lefty matchup just to get the guys off the field.
And Jason Castro has walked for the 4th time today. There's something that will probably come up in the postgame show. Castro, 4 plate appearances, 4 walks. I wonder how often that's happened in his career. Kennedy walked 5. Minor walked 1. Carnes walked 2. And Strom has just walked 1. Strom was so good last year. Struggling here very early in the season. That has been a starter in his professional career. Escobar batting right-handed. He swings and misses. A fastball 93, 0-1. Well, Sano is now knocked in 5 runs to begin the year. And the 0-1 foul back off the net. 0-2. And there's the lineup coming into play again. Joe's ability, Danny, to get on base, to take that walk, to get on base, to give Sano a chance with men out.
Extend the lineup there a little bit. You stretch it out.
And the 0-2 is sent foul off the net.
When you look at that at bat for Maurer, he fell behind 2 balls, no strikes. Gave him a cookie to hit. He elected to go ahead and take it, and then kind of ended up getting the walk. There's some guys that say, swing the bat 2-0, but at the same time, the more pitches you see, the more comfortable you are as a hitter.
And the 0-2 is lifted foul. Second deck, right side near the press box, which is all closed up today. Eduardo Escobar got the scoring started earlier. In the second, 2 guys reach via walks. Sano Castro. Escobar singled 0-2 count against Kennedy for the game's first run. And the 0-2 near a wild pitch that time. A breaking ball that Perez had to save. Out of his crouch and to his right, snagging that curve that never broke. Ball 1. Sano at third, Castro at first. Twins by 5. And the 1-2, it's high. 2-2. Right-hander Chris Young throwing in the Royals bullpen. Eddie Rosario hoping for a chance. He would be the 9th Twin to bat this inning. The 2-2, ball 3, inside. Royals pitchers combined to walk 7. Twins batters on Monday, 8 so far today. And a 3-2 pitch, a fly ball, well hit left center field. Gordon back, turning, looking, it's up and gone! 3-run homer, Eduardo Escobar! It's a 9-1 score. Right above the 1987 Twins World Series decal. Near that 377 marker in left center to the bleachers, about 2 or 3 rows up. Escobar from the right side. Another 6-run inning here in the 7th. And the Twins lead 9-1. A 6-run 7th on Monday, a 6-run 7th in Game 2. And the 0-1 is chopped foul down the right side.
Good at bat there by Escobar. He fell behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Came out aggressive early and then took. Look at all the pitches he got to see. And then that 3-2 pitch, boy, that was in the wheelhouse, and he did not miss it.
Fastball 93, Escobar to left center. And the 0-2 missed outside, ball 1.
Well, if somebody needs a big hit early to start the season, I think it's Escobar. And boy, he delivered right there.
Twins scoring 6 runs on 2 hits. Really, as Rosario pops it foul, I'll explain, as that ball is drifting foul. I say 2 big hits. Brian Dozier also with a single this inning, but Sano bases clearing triple. Escobar 3-run homer. You couple that with the walks, 3 in the inning. That's 9-1. And the 1-2 is flared to left, shallow near the line. Gordon's there to his right. In fair territory, makes the catch in the grass, inning over. But for the 2nd straight game here at Target Field, the 7th is productive. The Twins score 6 again in the 7th. For the 2nd straight game as they bat 9. 9-1 Twins, 8th inning. Taylor Rogers indeed will begin. Royals have of the 8th, Gordon, Moustakas, and Kane. As Rogers pumps in a fastball strike called 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch is inside. Gordon today is 0 for 2. He got hit by a pitch to start the game. Hit on the top of his right hand. Still in there. He's flied out. It bounced out as he pulls a ground ball to first. Right to Joe. Right knee on the dirt. Up and on his feet. And he takes it to the base unassisted for out number 1. Well, MLB.TV Premium is back and better than ever. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live and over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Rogers leaves. As you mentioned, the Indians, Cleveland will be here for 4. The next homestand, which begins a week from Friday. White Sox for 3, Indians 4, Tigers 3. It's a nice lengthy homestand, which will include Scotty O'Connell's birthday on the next homestand. Our good buddy here at Target Field, longtime Twins employee. Big night for the Scottaroo. Ryan Presley is out for the first time this year. Mike Moustakas batting, swinging, and floating one foul down the left field side. Ryan Presley, 28-year-old Texan. 72 games last year. It seemed like he pitched every day. 75 and 1/3 of an inning. As he works from the right side, the 0-1 pitch is pulled foul on the ground. On the first base side, 0-2. Presley, fastball, 95. Doesn't throw a cutter. It's a slider. Asking him about that before the game today. That'll be upper 80s, maybe low 90s. May work in a curveball as well. Twins now have a full shift on Moustakas. 3 in the right side of second base. 0-2 the count, leading by 8 in the 8th inning. And the pitch, Moustakas sends one foul. Now, Presley was having a really good spring up until his last 2 or 3 appearances. Then kind of lopsided numbers got him late. But before that, he was great.
We had him on the during the ball game from the dugout down there. I like what he was saying, and that was, yes, I asked him about possibly being a closer here, and he goes, yeah, maybe someday down the road, but we're just looking for wins right now.
And the 0-2 in the dirt. There's the slider right there at 84. And it's blocked by Castro, ball 1.
So to me, it seems like everybody's on the same page. You know what? I might not be that closer. I might not be in the game. I might be a bench player today, but keep an eye on the scoreboard, the lineup card. What can I do? How can this game progress and stay focused in anything I can do to help this team win?
Home run ball got him at times last year. Wild pitch prone as well. Swing and a miss, slider in the dirt. Moustakas chased. He is down on strikes. There's the second out. Moustakas 1 for 4 today. Now 3 strikeouts. But Presley can do that. He has swing and miss stuff. And the Twins in recent years, from a bullpen standpoint only, and this is really in absence of Glenn Perkins. He was at his peak. He had that swing and miss slider all the time. But the Twins bullpen has been just lacking in strikeouts. So 2 outs, and now Kane. He's been on twice, a single, a walk, and a run scored as he lines one foul down the right side. Now, last year, though, if you look at some of the numbers from the Twins bullpen, if you're just talking strikeouts alone, it wasn't terrible. The Twins were top 10 in all of baseball. And strikeouts from their bullpen alone. And the 0-1 is up and inside off the glove of Jason Castro. But then you look at some other numbers.
Yeah, look at the innings that they pitched.
Innings, Danny. The Twins have the 27th most innings, 26th at ERA out of all 30 teams. The 5th, 23rd. Home runs allowed, 28th. Wild pitches, 29th. So, and the strikeouts were there, but so many other alarming numbers. The 1-1 foul back. Kane thought he had one hit there, 1 and 2.
Well, we're not going to lead the league in wild pitches, I promise you that. Especially, a lot of it has to do with the catcher. And Castro kind of does a fine job in keeping that ball in front of him.
Hector Santiago in line for the win. Base is empty, 2 outs. 1-2 on Kane. And the pitch. Got him swinging on a breaking ball. A slider. Erases Kane. Presley faces 2. Strikes out 2. Moustakas and Kane. 7.5. In now from Target Field. Looking ahead now with U.S. Bank. We are back here for the final game of this series. Hopefully a sweep. Twins and the Royals. One more time to wrap up the opening homestand and series of the season. 11:30 pregame, 12:10 first pitch. Kyle Gibson, Jason Hamill will meet tomorrow. U.S. Bank is the official bank of the Twins and proud sponsor of the U.S. Bank Home Run Porch. Bottom 8 begins. Twins 9, Royals 1. New pitcher Chris Young. 6'10", 255 as he misses down low. Robbie Grossman, 2 balls and no strikes. Robbie 0 for 2 with a walk today. Young in the last year of a 2-year contract he signed in December of 2015. There is an option for 2018. He was a key cog for the Royals in their World Series winning year in 2015. ERA in the low 3s, made 18 starts. And the 2-1 ground ball right side. It's Hosmer fielding cleanly, up and on his feet, and he beats Grossman to the base, 1 out. And last year, not as productive for the veteran right-hander, now 37 years old. He opened the season in the rotation before going on the DL with a right forearm injury in mid-May, and then out of that, he was working out of the bullpen the rest of the year. That was from mid-July onward. 28 home runs last year. Doesn't throw hard, intelligent, and now facing Dozier. Strike called. Off speed that time from Young.
When he came up with the Texas Rangers, Rookie of the Year in 05, made the National League All-Star game in 2007, then got the Comeback Player of the Year in 2014.
Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Bryant. As an RBI today, he's been on 3 times, officially 1 for 3. A run scored. He has stolen 2 bases. Twins lead 9-1. And the 0-2, a swing and a fly ball. Soft fly into right. Orlando with a play. 2 is left. On the grass, he'll squeeze it above his shoulder. With a second out. That looks like Justin Haley will make his major league debut. Right-hander, number 5 pick. He is warming in the Twins bullpen. Royals have Hosmer, Perez, and Orlando. Set to bat in the 9th inning. 2 down for Kepler. 0 for 3, a walk and a run scored today. And pitch on Max. Strike called, off speed from Young. Now the 0-1, peeled foul. Before this at bat continues, let's step out. 10 seconds for station identification from Target Field. This is Twins Baseball.
What's good? This is Jordan at Nights on 96.3 KQGO-FM, Edina, Minneapolis, St. Paul, the alternative channel and your home for Twins Baseball.
0-2 on Kepler. As a fastball up and inside. That's the best fastball Young has right now, 88. As he turns to his right, and the 1-2 is lifted foul out of play. Now, Danny, you think about Chris Young, and he's been effective now, even though last year was a struggle. He'd be one of those at-bats I would imagine a hitter would say if he struck out or popped out, he'd go back in the dugout and maybe take a bat to the bat rack wondering, how'd he beat me?
Well, first of all, he's got great size on there, so the angle of that ball coming out of his hand, and he does come throw right out of the top.
Line drive, right side, base hit, right center, 1 hopper. Skidding right by Mondesi. There's Kepler's second hit of the season. He's out for the second time today.
And again, he's a guy that doesn't throw hard, but he kind of spots it around the strike zone a little bit. Gotta be patient with him. I think he'll eventually, during an at-bat, might give you something to hit, and you better square it up.
Buxton seeking that first hit. 0 for 4 today. He has struck out 3 more times today. Now 0 for 9. 6 strikeouts to start the year. 2 down. As a breaking ball stays up on Byron, ball 1. Hosmer not holding Kepler on. And the 1-0, swing and a miss, breaking ball. 1-1. Chris Jimenez is on deck to bat for Mauer. Asking Paul before the game about his bench. Escobar playing today. Trying to get Danny Santana in there somewhere tomorrow. And the 1-1. A weak ground ball to third. This will be tough. On the charge, Moustakas. His throw will not be in time. Beg your pardon. Cuthbert at third base defensively. Moustakas DHing today. Infield single. Buxton. So a slowly hit ground ball. Cuthbert did everything right. This is some of the best speed in the game. Wins out. And maybe the best speed in the game. So now Jimenez. Non-roster invite. Took the roster spot of Glenn Perkins, who was put on the 60-day DL, recovering from shoulder surgery. As Jimenez looks at a strike called, 0-1. Your impressions, Danny, watching Jimenez his whole game throughout camp?
Well, he can do a lot of things, and he can play a lot of different positions, but we talked about his bat plays well against left-handed pitching. But just his enthusiasm to go around and play any position.
The 0-1 is bounced foul. 0-2.
Big kid. I think he's going to come up with some big clutch base hits during the course of the season. They have a walk-off win, and they just mobbed him in spring training. But he's another one like Belisle, guys that have been with other clubs or the organizations. So when they come into a new clubhouse, there's nothing new to them. They've already been there, done that. They already knows a lot of the players on the team.
And now the 0-2, a swing and a pop-up on the infield right side. Hosmer, Mondesi in, Mondesi on the grass, he'll squeeze it, inning over. Twins don't score, they strand two. Looks like Justin Haley set to make his major league debut. No. This one today, highlights from this ball game. A look ahead to tonight's schedule. And some sounds from the Twins clubhouse all coming up on the post-game show. Before that, we'll hear from a selected Twins player. Twins 9, Royals 1. Big moment right now for Rule 5 pick, number 58, Justin Haley, making his major league debut on the mound. Defensively, Chris Jimenez is now at third. Miguel Sano goes from third to first. As Hosmer leads off, he swings and sends one foul on the third base side. Haley, Rule 5 pick from the Boston Red Sox. He was in camp early, competing for a spot in the rotation. Then as camp went along, shifted more towards a bullpen role. And here he is making his big league debut. And the 0-1 on Hosmer's low. Haley, a 4-pitch mix, being that he's been a starter in his professional career. Fastball, slider, curve, and change. He told me today that the strikeout pitch has been his slider. Not really a sinker or cutter. And the 1-1, ground ball to short. Escobar backhand staggers, resets, off balance throw from left, and Sano with the dig on the back end. Escobar staggered, understandably so. The exit velocity was 117.5 miles per hour on that ground ball. Understandable that you feel that you might lose your feet temporarily. Escobar did. Tore up some sod and left. Still plenty on that throw, and a good stretch there from Sano. 1 out. And that ball was scalded. But Escobar made the play. 1 down, Perez. And Haley's fastball at 90, a knee-high strike. Yeah, great for Escobar. Danny in the lineup today.
Yeah, all-around good ball game offensively. A nice play right there late in the game.
And the 0-1 is popped up foul right side. Sano chasing to his left. Warning track sidewall, no play.
Well, they had talked about Sano taking ground balls in spring training, and I don't think they're afraid to put him over there. And I think Sano likes the challenge. But Jimenez is a guy that can play some first base. At third base right now, we saw Jimenez play some outfield.
No balls and 2 strikes on Perez. Haley 6'5", 230. And the pitch fouled back.
At some point, a team is going to complain about Haley's glove, and that is he's got a string that's about 15 inches long off that pinky there, and it drapes down. So
flapping a little bit, and the 0-2 curve chopped to third, backing up Jimenez. He gloves it belly high, and he throws out. Perez 2 down. Haley last year, AA Portland, AAA Pawtucket with the Red Sox. He pitched in Venezuela over the winter and threw well. In 23 innings this winter in Venezuela, allowed only 1 earned run. So 2 outs. Orlando takes lone inside, ball 1. Santiago in line for the win. The second straight game, the Twins with a 6-run 7th. Sano a 3-run triple. Escobar a 3-run homer. And the 1-0 pitch, line foul. 1-1. Royals only scored 1 run on Monday. Just 1 today. Bullpen has surrendered nothing so far. Duffy, Belisle, Rogers, Presley, and now Haley. And the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Fastball. 1-2. Not a big crowd today. Those that were here, Twins fans on their feet. 2 outs, bases empty, 9th inning. Haley to Orlando and the 1-2 high. A check swing. Now chase the fastball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Haley brings that glove up high near the bill of his cap and taking too much time. Orlando steps out. The only run the Royals have today came from an Orlando RBI single of Santiago in the 4th. Overall, he's 1 for 3. And the 2-2 low. Now chase the slider. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The thought, too, on Jimenez at third base and not Sano. Paul Molitor was asked about the roster when Kenny Vargas was optioned down at Yountville Park, reassigned to minor league camp. He said, who's the backup first baseman? And Paul's answer was Jimenez. The 3-2, bouncy ball right side. Sliding stop, Dozier from his knees, throws him out, ball game over. Twins are 2-0 to start the year as they defeat the Royals 9-1. A 6-run 7th for the 2nd straight game decides it. Pitching was great, good defense yet again, and the Twins are 2-0 to start 2017. Again, the final, Twins 9, Royals 1. More to come from the booth and the field, but first we check in downstairs with Chris Atterbury.
All right, we look forward to that, Corey. The post-game download will feature all